Hello and welcome to the Too
Yes.
Close for podcast. We're back once again. Today, or whenever you're listening to this, we're talking about episode 108. Season 1, episode 8. This is the first one from 1981. January 6th, 1981 to be exact. And the episode title, Mr. Big.
Okay, so this episode starts out. Muriel is taking some pictures of some flowers in a vase. I don't know if she's doing this to practice. What do you think, Marty? Why?
Yeah, photography right off the bat.
Because the girls rush in and they're asking if they can get a ride
Oh, they want to go see old Calcutta.
downtown so they can buy some old tickets to the old Calcutta show. And then Muriel, she's like, "Oh, why do you want to go see that? That's a nude." And the way she says nude is just classic Muriel. Nude. I don't know if she said naked. I think she just said nude like 3 times. So it's a nude revival of some musical from Broadway back in the day. She's like, "No, I'm not going downtown." She just continues to take pictures of this flower, even though the girls are there. What if the girls? Well, obviously she's a professional photographer.
It looked like she was taking pictures of the girls.
At that point, right? But she obviously wasn't because she's a professional. She knows what she's doing. She's Muriel. That's her job, dude. Let's not get off track. So then Henry comes home, and he's just been at the bar drinking with Henry Quinlan. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I didn't spell it correctly. Quinlan. And a guy he's been working with at Random Comics for years. I mean, he went to the bar, and that's why he's late, because he's been out drinking with this guy. And he realizes, hey, I'm going to get fired because Random Comics has just been acquired by Wainwright Publishing. And he's worried because he's the next to go because he's an old man.
Anybody over 40 is over the hill.
That's what he said. Yeah, anybody over 40.
And I'm 51.
Wainwright doesn't like anybody over 40, so there's definitely going to be some cutting of the fat here at Wainwright Publishing. Random Comics has been absorbed by they publish newspapers, they publish all sorts of things. Comics as well.
And the drugstore downstairs was sold out of the Grecian formula.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do, Henry? I'm going to find another drugstore.
That's right. That was his quip. That's how he's going to deal with this situation. He's going to fold, and he's going to pretend he's a young man. Henry's wearing his Notre Dame sweater, drawing the Cosmic Cow comic, and he's thinking about being 51 and how he's going to lose his job because he's 51. And Muriel brings in, she says, "Hey, do you want some coffee?"
But she's carrying a sandwich.
She's bringing some sort of sandwich.
Maybe the sandwich is made out of coffee.
That's Marty's theory.
And he's looking in the mirror, pushing his face back. I guess imagining what a facelift would look like.
He's trying. Yeah, he's worried. He's very worried. He's an old man now, and he's going to lose his job.
And then Sarah Monroe run in, right?
Yeah. Oh, she says. He says. She brings him a sandwich. And he's like, and she offers the coffee, and he's like, "No, I don't want the coffee. Bring me some prune juice. Bring me some prunes, because I'm an old man. I can't handle coffee. That's going to get me too jacked up. I can't. I need prunes now because I'm old." So, yeah, then next thing you know, Sarah and Monroe rush into the room, and they're pretty worked up because Sarah has gotten her purse stolen by a man in an overcoat when she was buying the tickets to Old Calcutta. Monroe had given her a ride down there, and she's buying the tickets. And she's purchased the tickets, and then some guy in an overcoat comes up and flashes her, and then she looks away, and he grabs her purse and runs off. And Monroe, as we later learn, did nothing about it because he thought it was part of the routine. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So let's.
But we also get that classic "I know karate" bit. Right?
Oh, is that where that happened?
I think so. Right? And he goes, "Wah!" And they would use that in the Antenna TV promos.
So we learn that the crook now has their keys to all the doors in the house, and their apartment. He knows where they live because the address is on the ID. So Henry's pretty upset about this. So then we cut downstairs, and he's putting a new chain on the door. Muriel comes down, says that Mr. Wainwright is coming over to talk to him, and Henry's like, what the heck? It's Saturday. Why is he coming down on a Saturday? That isn't cool. I'm gonna get fired. So then we cut back upstairs. Henry's waiting for the boss, and then somebody rings the doorbell, and it's the chauffeur Loomis.
First appearance.
There are multiple appearances apparently, because Marty is saying this is the first appearance.
First appearance of the first chauffeur.
Ah, and then he steps aside, revealing the tiny Mr. Wainwright.
Arthur Wainwright, the first Arthur Wainwright, who will also be later replaced by a different actor.
Yeah, and you would know this man from, he was in WKRP. What's another show he was in, Marty?
Three's Company.
Three's Company. He was in, if it was in the 70s, this guy was in that show. I don't know. I don't think he was in any, if he was in any movies, they were hokey movies.
And right before Wainwright rings the doorbell, or the chauffeur, they were having that little discussion about, do I look young? You know, and he's all wearing the tennis outfit, and he's all, you look 50. And then there's all this innuendo about he still has all this energy in the sack. And
oh, yeah, he's got the, Muriel's like, oh, you're a sexual dynamo.
Then they almost embrace, and then the doorbell rings, which leads me to the point of, those two never really seemed like much of an intimate couple on screen. Maybe it was just the show, but it's very rare that you ever see them embrace or kiss.
Muriel
for being married.
Muriel always seemed hotter for somebody that in the past than her own husband. Mm-hmm. Like when she reflected on the things she did in the past.
And yet, spoiler, another kid. So, but anyways.
Oh, don't ruin this show for everybody.
Like you're not already entrenched in this program to know details.
Also, so the boss shows up at the door, and he tells him, "You're old. Let me tell you something, Henry. Rush. Let me tell you something, Rush. You're old." And then boom.
Yep.
End of Act 1. All right. So then Act 2, Wainwright asks Henry if he knows why he's there, right? He asks him, hey, do you know why I'm here, Henry? And he's like, yeah, because my name is R, right? My name is Rush, and you're up to the R's.
Oh, yeah.
You're firing everybody, you're firing old people. And Wayne tells him his comic is outdated, and kids can't relate to it. And then they quickly come to some sort of compromise, and they decide, hey, let's talk about it. And then Henry's like, oh, I can't talk about it because I'm dealing with my daughter's stolen purse.
And that sets him off right there, right? That sets Wayne right off.
Exactly. He gets pretty excited about this because his favorite thing about publishing apparently is the detective magazines that he publishes. So he gets really excited about this, and then he starts...
What was this one called? Intrigue or Impulse? Or
what, the title of the show?
This specific magazine that Wainwright publishes says there was an issue of Intrigue or something where
whatever it is the same one that Monroe references later
Exactly.
and gets a laugh. So I didn't write that down,
didn't
so I'm
either.
not sure. I wish I had now. Now I feel bad, like this whole thing is going
Now,
wrong.
another excuse to watch the episode again.
Woo! So, back on track, he has to deal with Sarah's robbery, which excites Wainwright because he loves the detective magazines. They figure out the thief will use the tickets to go see the old Calcutta show.
Oh, yeah, the performance tonight.
Because that's just logic. That's just science. So they rush off, and Henry goes downstairs and he asks the girls.
Henry rush off.
Henry rushes downstairs. They're going to go down to the theater to find out what's up. So Henry goes downstairs. The girls, he knocks on the door. The girls, the chain is still on there.
But the screws are not sticking out of the wall.
Well, they aren't now. We haven't even talked about the screws. But yeah, the screws at one point are sticking out the wall like a good inch and a half.
When he's first installing the new lock, when Muriel says, "Hey, Wainwright's coming." Then when they run down where we're at right now, the screws are mysteriously not sticking out of the wall anymore.
Yeah. And the girls don't let him in because the door's chained. And then he's like, "Hey, where are those tickets?" Henry's, "What seats did you girls buy?
Oh,
so we can go bust these two clowns."
Seats 12 and 14.
12, not even together. Row K, I believe. Details, the devil's in the details. Row K, not even together.
And then they say, "That sounds like a good idea." But then Sarah comes out and says, "Oh, I hope they don't."
No, Muriel comes down with some lasagna.
Oh, yeah.
And Sarah's like, oh, they find out, they ask, "Hey, where did Dad go? What the hell was that about?" And Sarah tells them that no, those tickets were for the afternoon, the matinee showing.
Uh-oh.
And they went for the evening show.
And now two innocent people are going to get bugged.
Yeah. So that's the end of Act 2. Boom, we're in the home stretch now, people. So at the theater, Henry and Wainwright have talked to the manager, and he drags out these two people from these seats, and they're pissed off. And one of them is married to a federal judge, and he's a lawyer as well, so he's going to sue somebody. And the other chick, she's just disgusted that this other guy is whatever. A bunch of miscommunication. This is what's happening now.
And a lot of finger pointing and shaking.
Yeah.
Everything just goes into pure chaos. And
So Wainwright starts questioning them, and he finds out, yeah, and there are lots of threats of lawsuits at this point. Boom. Then we cut home, and the girls are worrying about their parents because they've been gone for a while now. When somebody starts to open the front door,
uh-oh.
holy smokes! So they go in.
Could it be Cousin April? No.
Not yet. Though. So they go in the kitchen. One of them goes in the kitchen, gets a frying pan, and Jackie Monroe comes to the door. She whacks him in the head, and boom, Monroe's out on the floor. No, he's not. No, he's not.
He just says, "Did anybody hear that?"
That's right. He just shuffled it off. So then he tells him he found the purse in a dumpster or trash can because he's figured it out because he read that detective magazine.
The same one that Wainwright was into. Yeah.
So Wainwright should have figured this out, being like Monroe. He should have been.
I guess he doesn't read every issue.
No, I guess he missed that one, right? So then Henry shows up. Henry and Muriel, their parents, show up. And he's holding his head, and he's got a black eye. Sarah goes to get him some ice, and then Monroe grabs it because, his head's hurt.
All of a sudden,
he just realized he got hit by a frying. He doesn't even know what happened.
He doesn't even know why. All of a
His
sudden, I
head
just
hurts.
have a terrible headache.
And then Wainwright shows up, and he admires Henry's.
And Wainwright says, "Why are there screws sticking out of the door.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, the screws were gone.
All of a sudden now the screws are back.
They're back now.
Yeah, that's the name of that tune. So he admires Henry because Henry stuck up for him, even though it was a bunch of bullshit.
And he takes his handkerchief back that Henry was holding on his face, and with a little trouble manages to cram it back into his pocket.
They probably both went to jail, and Wainwright bailed them out.
Mm-hmm.
How else would they get out so quick on assault charges?
Only 8 episodes in, and these characters just keep going in and out of jail.
That's right. Now they're in jail. Well, Muriel might have been in jail.
Yep.
Who knows who all went to jail?
It's quite an
right
altercation at that theater.
It was crazy. So that's the name of that tune. That's how I'm going to wrap this up. So Wainwright admires Henry, tells him, I'll see you on Monday. You can keep your job. I'm not going to do the old man thing because if it wasn't for an old man, I wouldn't have, whatever.
Exactly.
Wouldn't have been here. So Marty, give us the wrap up.
Not too much to discuss in this one. We did have the first appearance of Arthur Wainwright the First in his first chauffeur, both of which characters would be played by a different person. Actually, it's a completely different chauffeur we'll meet in a few episodes.
Do we have their names? Do you have their names?
I think the second one's name is Rufus, and this one's name was
Loomis. No, I'm asking, do you have their actual names? Do you know Wainwright's real name?
No.
And do you know that guy's real name?
And it was Cliff something. We also had the theater goers were our other guest stars. Cosmic Cow. Well, we learned that Random Comics was acquired by Wainwright Publishing, as you mentioned. It's referred to as both a strip and an issue in this episode. There's a little bit of talking to Cosmic Cow, who was only 8 years old.
That's a revelation.
Yeah. That could mean the character's 8. It could mean he's been doing the strip for 8 or the comic book for 8. Who knows? Henry's wearing that Notre Dame sweater. Monroe shows up first not wearing stripes, but an outfit that you liked. Had the button that we couldn't make out on the vest. Then later he shows up wearing stripes. Because Monroe wears stripes a lot. It's just like
his classic suit. And
it's like Henry wearing the sweater.
He had the suit, the jacket that accented the stripes, like the same color as the stripes.
Now,
right?
Now, how could I not have noticed that? There was a big Henry stammer in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Right there in that theater scene. Also, 2 instances of pointing the finger of Henry. Muriel's photography in the very, very beginning. The intro was the same intro as episode 105. And I'm going to give this one a 3 on the scale of 1 to 5. Maybe close to a 2, And what did we learn today? We learned, don't let your boss try to find your stolen purse. Really basic episode that's missing most of the elements that would later make up the show. Still a good one. Not nearly as interesting as next week. Well, maybe about as interesting. When Sarah needs a location to shoot a movie. Then a lion shows up.
I feel like we've done this
And
podcast
Muriel wants a job
dude.
with Wainwright also. That's
100
next
times.
week on episode 9, The Location.
Stay tuned. You can hear my show on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Create custom playlists. Rate and review my show on Stitcher. And over 4 million car dashboards.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no syncing, no wasted memory. Stream your favorite podcasts. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store.